1, 2, 1. Today, my friends, we're looking at really bad tattoos. So first thing first, I think we need to agree on what is a good tattoo. The line work should be solid, straight lines, nice curves, pointy when it's supposed to be, smooth shading, solid coloring, aka a good saturation of the skin. So let's begin this show with portraits. Imagine you go to a tattooer and you bring the picture of your child. And this is what you end up with. This girl looks possessed. The shading is poorly done. The hair is, what can I say? The proportion of this thing is so jacked up. I don't even know what to say. This is so bad. Jesus Christ. First thing I thought when I see this thing is that guy. It's the same thing. I know, I see the resemblance, minus a couple of teeth. This guy. Imagine you just go see a tattooer. Yes, hi, I'd like to get a tattoo of my son. Yes, no problem at all. Let me help you out with that. Do you have a picture of your son? Yes, of course I have. I mean, it's exactly it. This one, it is so jacked up, and these are healed. The girl doesn't even have a lip. The kid, what's the big scar going up? He puts the picture of the kids right beside, like, oh, look at that, I'm so good. You can't even recognize which one he tried to do. The next one, I mean, what pushes these tattooers to actually put the picture right beside the tattoo they just did? It amazed me. The guy invented shading. That's why I think it's hard to do babies, because they don't have a lot of definition on their faces. If you want a portrait of your baby, I would go for more drawing looking than such a realistic take on it. Well, realistic. There's hairs on the baby, on the tattoo. It looks like a toupee. It looks like you put a toupee on the baby. This one is amazing. If you look at the fabric right by the mouth, it looks like the kid has his head resting on an oyster or something. The nose is so jacked up. And the hairs, it's not the same kid. The face is longer. Like, the guy did not follow the pattern of the picture. If you remove the picture, there's no point of reference that the person that got this tattoo would know that it's their kids. It's a complete different person. This guy, same thing. Tattooers do that sometimes. They take a picture, and if it doesn't fit where the client wants it, they just stretch it one way or another to make it fit the placement, where you should just tell your clients, I think it would look better somewhere else. In that case, it looks like the kid just became an older person. By looking at it, the application of the tattoo is not so bad, but it just doesn't look like the same person. The next one is a very famous one. If you looked at bad tattoo picture, you've probably seen it. This is so horrible. Everything is jacked up about this tattoo. Even if you don't know tattoos, you know that it's a bad tattoo. But the person that got this tattoo, they got it fixed. Jesus Christ. See how the skin is so worked up in the hairs? The nose looks like a dick. This is such a bad tattoo. If you remove the picture, you wouldn't know who that was. When you do someone's portrait, when they're not famous, it's just a small pool of people that's gonna recognize them. There's no margin for error. I love this one. Brad Pitt. It's such a good tattoo. If we keep going in famous people, here's a picture of Kurt Cobain. It's so bad. Oh my god, it's like the face. Trying to figure out the position. Something missing. I don't know if it's a part of the chin. The space between the lip and the nose is amazingly big. But you still recognize that this is Kurt Cobain. If you put a picture of Kurt Cobain, you know it's him. You know, it's just not him. When the tattooer shows you the pictures, because a stencil for portraits is very intricate. So when your tattooer shows you that drawing and it doesn't look anything like the picture, that doesn't ring a bell. Michael Jackson up next. Look at that. Framing of the face and the choice of the hair. He has a very flat head.
It's so stupid. That's the most ridiculous, horrifying.
Forever with Us. He touched so many. Who's next? Oh my god, this Freddie Mercury one. Everybody knows the Live Aid show. I think that's like the most famous Queen's performance. Even if it's such a bad tattoo, you do recognize the show because of the little armband. The mustache is right in the middle of the lip. It's The lines are completely jacked. Shading in the clouds. It's not even touching the line. Chin is huge. What's the lines on the arm? I guess it's got 8 hairs. Wow, and those birds are just fucking amazing. This time is only mustache. There's no lips whatsoever. And the right eye, I don't know what happened there, but looks like a really bad Halloween horror mask. Doesn't even look like he's holding a microphone. Looks like he's holding like a salt and pepper shaker. This is so jacked up. And over time, this tattoo the black spot will pop out, but that's it. The rest will just fade away. Elvis, come on, Elvis. It looks like it's been healed for a long time. This is what happens when the tattooers don't know what they do. Is it Elvis? I'm not sure. The next one is definitely Elvis. This is typical penis nose that you see in really bad portraits. And the eyes. What can you say about those beautiful eyes? The next one is amazing though. Amy Winehouse. Imagine if you go to a tattoo artist and you say, oh, I really love that artist and I want to get that on my body. And you end up with something like this. Angus Young, AC/DC. When I was telling you about skin saturation and choppiness, this is exactly what I was talking about. The guitar is, I didn't have a proper apprenticeship when I started tattooing. I kind of learned by myself at home. I was very young. So I believe I did some shitty tattoo like this. If I ever find pictures, I will make an episode roasting myself on my first tattoos. This one, it's not badly done. This is actually really well done. Really freaky tattoo. I'm not a big fan of face tattoos. I hate looking at things when there's multiple eyes. It just really fucks with my brain. This guy here, probably a barber. Look at the mustache. The mustache in that little piece of hair right here. Why is it on the lip? This is such a strange choice of placement. The barber sign on the nose, it's... In the tattooers world, we call it social suicide. Neck, face, hands. I'm from a generation where you would get everything else, and at the end you would go neck, head, hands. This one is so bad. I think the person wanted to go for a... what you call that? You know that alien thing that, you know...
My God.
You know that friend that wants to start tattooing? And one night you get drunk and he's like, bro, I got an idea. Yeah, bro, what's up? I think I have a cool idea to tattoo on your face. This is most likely what happens. You don't, just say no. You know what, give it at least a week. Think about it a week. I love those pot leaf tattoo. I remember when I was much younger, it was a trend at some point to get a pot leaf. I'm so happy I never got one. Got this weird line on the right, just sticking out. Yeah, we'll do the shoulder, and you know what? I changed my mind. It's such a bad... There's a lot of gums. No lips. This Joker is all gums with a broken nose. If you know that the person is not good or is practicing and you're not paying a lot of money for this, it's one thing. If you're lying on a table and you're believing that you're getting somewhat a picture of the Joker and you end up with this, but some people, they don't care. They just want to pay as cheap as possible. And always remember, my friends, a cheap tattoo ain't good and a good tattoo ain't cheap. Next up, this is actually a client of mine. In a future video, I'll show you the cover up. He got this done. Again, the face is all jacked up. The fingers, they look like big sausages. The guitar, the strings are horrible. So I think this is somewhat of my now client's fault. Because he saw the drawing, he saw that it had nothing to do with the original pictures, and still decided to move forward with the project. If the original drawing doesn't look like the picture, your tattoo won't look like the picture. The singer of Radiohead. This is actually not a bad executed tattoo. I just didn't know that Tom York had a nipple on his face. Let's look at a real picture of him. Oh, yeah, my bad. I believe this is a great use of a piece of hair randomly placed on your body. Next up, what do we have? Oh yeah, branding tattoos. Starbucks? Really? I don't think you would ever pay me enough to get something like that. Rolex. At least if you get a Rolex tattoo, get an actual model of a Rolex. A full sleeve of Louis Vuitton logo. And unfortunately, most likely, people that do that are broke They just get those tattoos because they want to look rich. This guy, the full head of Louis Vuitton. If you do it, why don't you do it with taste? Like this tattoo, for example. It's part of the tattoo. It's part of the bandana that she's wearing. This is a very well executed tattoo. I still don't understand the attraction to get a brand name logo tattooed, but at least this is a great execution. Imagine you sit on a plane and this is what you see. There's nothing to say. It's a really bad idea. It's a really bad tattoo. But I mean, you can't say nothing for the guy amazing commitment to take a joke to the next level. The next one is a classic. If you know bad tattoos, you will know this image. The tiger back piece. It's half of the face is smushed. Body with the tiny legs. The long tail. That's amazingly ugly and poorly executed. I think this tattoo is like a staple of the bad tattoo. It's so bad that it's good. The reference image is that tiger. It's just a classic pose for the Japanese or Chinese art. For some reason, this is what the guy ended up with. This is what happens when your tattooer doesn't know how to draw. I think this tattoo would be amazing if someone gets it professionally done. Professionally done bad tattoo. The white tiger looks like it has a little afro with a black beard. Tongue looks like a dick sticking out of the mouth. Imagine you have that on your chest. You need to see that every day. That's look at the tiny nose. But it's a rare species of tiger. There you go. We saw one in the wild. White tigers are very rare. Moving on to the Lion King. The Lion King looks high on meth or something like that. Daddy, I want to play. Leave me the fuck alone. It is my life, John Bovey. Slayer. This reminds me of those people that comes to see you at the shop and they ask you for a back piece today. And you're like, I can't do a back piece today. Well, my friend got one. And then they show you a picture and this is the picture they show you. No pen, no gain. Don't have a pen, you have no gain. No regrets, no regrets, no regrets, regrets. Is it so obvious that they didn't see it or that was done on purpose? Because if you look at the tattoo, it's actually clean. It's not a badly done tattoo. I think this was on purpose. This guy looks like a dangerous person. That looks like a mugshot. I'm not making fun of this guy. Maybe he couldn't grow mustache and he decided to get one. And he lost his eyebrows and decided to get eyebrows. Moving on. The infamous barcode with some sort of birthday or numbers that you really love and that you want to remember. These never age well. Never. Never, 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 never. Never, never, never! The lines always blow up, and if you look at this, it's all jacked up. There's no one line that it's straight. It's just something that you shouldn't do. This is the only one I found that it's somewhat better. The lines are bigger, and this is gonna last for a long time. You're actually gonna see what it is. It's not only gonna become just a gray blob, gray rectangle from far. This girl, poor her. She wanted a constellation on the chest. She just looks like she's got hairs, little ingrown hairs everywhere. It's such a bad idea. I think as a tattooer, you need to be able to tell your clients when their idea sucks. This one is amazing. If you've never seen that one, a lot of people, what they do is they want to copy someone else's work. So the client brought most likely this picture to a really bad tattoo artist that you see on the right, but the tattooer tattooed the nipple. How stupid do you have to be to actually line the whole design and tattoo the nipple? And I think that if you do want to copy someone else's work, it's such a lack of respect for the guy that's wearing the tattoo and for the artist that do the tattoo that you deserve a bad tattoo. And the artist that did that got his money, doesn't give a shit. And the guy has a nipple on his arm and now he's like, you know, famous on the internet. Next up, the girl that got Drake on her forehead. It was a trend of people getting like huge tattoos on their forehead. Like this girl, she got Trump tattooed. Although some people say that this was fake. I looked at some of the footage. I can't tell you if it's fake. It looks real to me. I don't understand what pushes you to do this. And this picture is the healed one that I'm talking about. And this looks like a real tattoo. And this girl that got Kevin tattooed on her her forehead. She actually did this for awareness. It's not a real tattoo. And she did that for all the little girls or kids that would want to get tattooed, because she says that she regrets all of the tattoos that she already have. The thing with that is, she got both hands, her neck. It was a great publicity stunt to raise awareness. Be careful with your choices, I understand, but if you're getting your neck tattooed at 15 years old and then you're 22 and you regret it, it kind of makes sense. So when you have an idea of a tattoo that's really gonna show and you're really young, just wait a couple of years. Superman tattoo. I mean, what to say about this? It's just jacked up, the lines, everything. That looks really painful. Yeah. Coliseum columns. These are really hard to do. All the lines are jacked up. This is a big tattoo. That must have been so painful. Nothing is good about this tattoo. Absolutely nothing. The shading, the line work, the details. But it's like spirals at the top. Makes me think of a fly for some reason. So next up, it's actually a request that I had. The guy said that he needed me to fix a tattoo that he got done. If you have a big stomach like this, it's not a good idea to want to put straight line on it. It just doesn't make sense. The tattooer should tell you that, but if you go see a shitty tattooer, that's what's gonna happen. This girl, that's what she wanted. Let's listen what she's crying.
This is what I wanted, okay? This is the pastels. This is what I got. I'm literally crying over my nails right now because they're so
I'm gonna sound like a jackass, but she wanted to copy a tattoo from somebody else, and she went to see a tattooer that didn't know better, and this is what she ended up with. Don't copy other people's work. You can inspire yourself from it and try to do your own version of it, but if a tattooer tells you that he wants to copy someone else's work, most likely this tattooer is not good. But, you know, she's crying for a good reason. It's a really shitty tattoo, but you deserve it, my dear. Okay, the next one is quite disgusting. You might want to skip a little bit if you're easily grossed out. This is an eye tattoo where they put ink in the white, and I don't understand why people do this. It's so dangerous to turn blind, and this guy had an infection. So this is what it looked like for a while. This is so bad. And the bottom picture is after antibiotics. They actually saved this guy eye. I hope he didn't go do the other one. This is my limit. I'm all for tattoos, but extreme body modification like this, it's just way too dangerous. This guy, this guy, look at that. That's amazing. A nice Lara Croft portrait. I love those tattoo reveal when they put a lot of soap on it and you know you're excited to see what it was. Clearly this is not a fresh tattoo. I think it's kind of part of the joke, but it's such a jacked up tattoo. It's insane. This guy's cover up on the cheek. Again, with the face tattoo, with the full cheek face tattoo. I don't understand. This is not aesthetically pleasing. For me anyway. I know it's subjective, but look at that thing. He just hands up with like a fucking leprechaun rose on his cheek. That's just horrible. It looks so painful too. This clearly was a joke, but I loved it anyway. That's not possible. The guy didn't think he was getting a picture of a horse. That's just not possible. This cover up it's becoming famous. It's got 900,000 likes on TikTok. It's a cover up of the owl, and this is the panther that the guy put on it. I'm gonna lie, this looks good. Bring back the owl. The owl is laughing now. Yeah, it's a hell of a cover-up. Remember, you get the tattoo you deserve. So if you're shopping for a cheap price, you will get a cheap tattoo. Thank you so much for staying with me for that episode. I hope you had a good laugh. And please take all this with a grain of salt. If you do have a bad tattoo, or if you find yourself in that video I just made, well, best thing you could do is own it. You know, just be able to make fun of it. I have bad tattoos on me that I really don't mind. Just make sure you research a tattooer that's gonna ink something in your skin forever. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And I'll see you real soon.